Hey.
Oh, man. Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Mm-hmm. How you doing today?
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get it. So, welcome back to my channel. Today I have
Stu
with me. So, we are going to be talking about sort of how he's in a transition period where y'all know how it is. You in a relationship and things don't really go the way that you wanted them to go, and you end up like, what's next? So that's what we're talking about today. How do you transition from being in a relationship and spending a lot of your time there, doing a lot of things with that person, and then when y'all break up, you got to get back on your hustle, you got to get back on your grind and figure out, who am I supposed to be?
Facts. You get a lot of points right there already. So to start off, when you first get into that transitioning period, before you even know what you're transitioning into, before somebody even brings that to your attention, you just mad, you just angry. And that's where I was. I ain't even gonna say not too long ago. It was like, honestly, time reference like a month ago, my nigga. And I was like, nigga, the end of the world. This is stupid. Like, why am I still doing relationships? Fuck love. Fuck all that. Like, I was just, just negative about the whole situation.
In your feelings.
Hell yeah. Like, in my fucking feelings, being stupid. That's what people go through, but you can't get stuck in it. Like, eventually people gonna tell you, like, start doing things that you like to do. But for me, it was a moment where I ain't even really understand what I like to do. I had to figure that out. So I think figuring that out really helped my transition, because I started going outside. I just decided, nigga, I'm in the house every fucking day. I'm not happy. Let me go outside. Let me listen to some damn water. Go to the beach. I did that. Wasn't enough. And this transition thing is it's complex, because you feel like you're getting happy at one point. You feel like you're doing better. You're focusing on the right things. And then you still feel sad, so you feel like all of it's for nothing. For a minute, it's a bunch of back and forth of you're negative here, and you positive, and you what I learned to do in this period in my life is, like, any negative thoughts, I replace them with positive ones. Like, instead of, if I'm doubting myself, or if I'm doubting this entire thing and I want to go backwards, go back in time with this person that I had so many good times with or whatever, it's more so like, well, maybe things will work out. I'll replace those negative thoughts, like, oh, this shit not gonna work, I'm never gonna be in a good relationship. Then I replace those specific ones with,
what if it does work?
What if it does work out?
Yeah.
What if I find somebody who does appreciate me, type shit. So, it goes from bad to good. You can't dwell on the bad things and people running out your life and shit. And that's just where I am right now. I still ain't perfect. I still ain't where I'm supposed to be, but I'm getting better.
Yeah, and that's the realness of it all, because you have to be able to process those emotions. And every day you wake up, you ain't gonna feel like, oh, I'm so happy we're not together no more, or this was the best decision of my life.
Yeah.
Let me go do me. Like, you're not gonna always feel that way. And so, what you do in those moments when you don't feel that way? Do you sit in it? Some days you may.
Yep.
Some moments you really may sit in it.
Bunch of days.
Yeah. And then other times you like, nah, I'm tripping.
Exactly. You be tripping. Don't be tripping off of people who ain't tripping off of you. And honestly, just don't trip off of people, period. Because that's not your purpose in life. You supposed to trip over Jesus and God and your relationship with this universe. Whatever you believe in, trip over that. Whatever you want to do, whatever that's in your bank account, trip over that. Like, that's more important. But like, that's where I'm trying to figure out in this whole transition period, is that I don't want to hold anything that the last person did to me against the next person. I have a history of that, and a lot of people out here have a problem with that.
Yeah, I can say I've struggled with it.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean, you don't really know if you're still struggling with it until you try to date. And I ain't dating right now, so I mean, it could still be an issue. Yeah. But I definitely know that it was an issue before. And I think like going through that process, you may experience that. You may come into that place where you like, man, this kind of reminded me of my last situation. And it may not even be the relationship or the other person. It could really just be you dealing with past trauma.
I done been a butthole and said some mess like, man, you reminded me.
Oh, yeah.
That you just don't, I shouldn't say that type of stuff, should I? That's not good. That's not, even though you might feel that way, that is the way that makes the other person feel is probably crazy. See, I've had things said to me like, well, I ain't even gonna get specific. Let me just hold it. But I've said things to me that made me feel bad.
Yeah.
But like that's just, you shouldn't really go into no relationship or any situation with baggage. Another reason why I'm single. I'm single right now because of baggage. I don't carry it, it's not visible. But if you feel any type of way about, I feel like, I mean, you can still, I don't really do you feel like you can be hurt still and try to get in a different situation? Like, even if it's not fresh, the wound is sealed up, but you're still kind of hurting. Do you really think you can be in another relationship?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good question. Because when you was asking it, it just made me think about a scar, right? So you have a wound, like I got scars on me, like, well, y'all probably can't see them, but I know where they are, like literally, you know what those places are that trigger you, those places that you don't want to return to, and you take a mental note, but every time I come around somebody, I'm not like, hey, look, I got a scar on my arm and right here, it don't have to show up every time, but that's for you to reflect on, to be like, you know what, I've been here before, I've seen that before, probably don't want to put myself in that situation again, because I remember what it felt like experiencing that healing process. And so I do think that if it still hurts, then it's still healing necessary. So if it's still healing necessary, obviously you don't want to dive head first into a relationship. I'm not gonna say that you can't be in a relationship while you're hurting, but that will mean that the other person has to be fully committed to assisting you in the healing process. And you don't really want to bank on somebody else trying to get you to a certain point. You want to be able to come in, with a fresh perspective.
That's a complex situation when you're trying to, like, especially if knowing that the other person is going through something right now. To me, I've had situations where I was talking to someone who was getting out of a relationship, and me personally, I don't try to continue like trying to force myself. I don't force myself on anyone, but I don't really force a relationship with people who are fresh out of things, because it's always complicated. And so personally, I mean, sometimes relationships can be a part of the healing process. You can meet somebody, who's helping you along the way, but if it hurts, if you could think about it, it don't hurt no more. Hey, cool for you.
Right.
You get some points for that. But, but just don't drag nobody in it. If you have an urge to text them, if you feel like eventually you're gonna hit them up or they gonna hit you up and you gonna respond or anything like that, I feel like in them cases, don't jump in a relationship. They might feel like it's gonna make you feel better, but when you actually, that goes back to transitioning, hopping in something else that you don't know if it's gonna work. It's just gonna, you're just gonna be replaying the same shit over and over and over again. You're not gonna really finish with your transformation. You're just gonna be the same person you was in the last relationship, and that's not the point of all of this in the first place. You're supposed to be better.
That's facts. I'm just listening.
Yeah, I'm just over here preaching and
yeah,
shit.
And it's crazy because we talk about this kind of stuff very often. Because, funny side story. We went to daycare together.
Oh yeah, we did.
So obviously when we link back up, like we're two completely different people, you know, like we were children the last time we saw each other. Now we're full-blown adults, you know, pushing 30 at this point, you know.
Yeah, we old as hell. Damn. Remind me about that.
For real. So, and when we linked back up, you know, we talked about our stories and, you know, where we at in life right now and stuff. And so, he was fresh out of a relationship and so was I. And so we just talked about that, you know, like what does that look like? And he was more fresh out of his relationship than I was. I think I was out for about 3 weeks to a month before me and you linked back up. But
that's crazy.
Yeah. But even that month made a difference in being able to see the fact that he was going through in that current time what I had went through a month ago, you know. And so it really worked out that we linked back up the time that we did, because I was able to sort of give him some insight and, you know, like help him. I don't even want to say help because I don't even want to take no credit for none of it, like no, but just to be able to, you know, say, be there to support, to say like, it's okay, you're going to get through it and, you know, do your thing, you know, keep pushing, do what you got to do, you know, like take the time that you need to feel what you need to feel. But when it's all said and done, like refocus, you know?
Absolutely. Like, I'm going to give you your props because you don't want to take no credit, but like to have a friend like that or just somebody that you can talk to who's been through a similar situation is important too, because who know, I probably been done pulled up on somebody, did some wicked shit if, you know, I didn't have Jory right here to talk to me some nights, to be honest, because that's just, you know, you go through your emotions. People, every situation is different, and you really gotta do things that's the opposite of what negativity wants you to do. See, that type of energy of just getting done bad. Some people, you know, like me, I'm a different person. I'm like a bullheaded type of person. I'm really calm, I'm really chill. And when things go sour, I get hot-headed, I get temperamental, and you know, but I have to calm myself down a lot. I've learned how to do that. And fortunately to get through this little situation, I had somebody I could talk to who've been through the same things, you know, like it was something you told me. I'm not gonna tell your situation. But
well, we were both in it for 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we had that in common.
And the fact that you was just so fresh out of it when I kind of just, I was ripping my Band-Aid fresh off. And I don't know, I was talking to you when I was still in a relationship, like around the next week, it was getting rocky for some reason. And you was just doing the same thing. Like you was talking about, you already have YouTube videos about the things that I'm going through currently. So I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Then my entire life just flipped 180. I'm like, oh wow. So I needed this information and I looked it up. And my friends over here posting about it before I even get a chance to really experience it. And then the next week, that's how it happened for me. And in that entire period, you've been like mad supportive. You've been very informative, and that's very helpful. Shouts out to you anyway. And I think just it's that important to keep friends and family around to keep you, like, don't just seclude yourself if you're going through things like this. If you decided to look up a video about, relationships and transition, and like, don't you surround yourself with good positive things. I got dogs, I go outside, I got friends, like I got my family everywhere. I can go pull up on them, talk with them about anything, and that's what you need to do to get through it. Like it's hard, but it's really easy.
Nah, for real.
It's
For real.
so easy to pull up on a family member. Just do it.
And that's the thing, like, man, I be getting passionate, y'all. Like, a relationship is not everything.
It's not.
Like, being in a relationship, being with somebody is not the entire world. Like, you alone have something that you're supposed to be doing, even aside from this person. Like, you don't want to build your whole existence in a relationship. And if you've gone into a situation and you come out of it and you don't know what to do, you don't know who you are, that is the perfect time to try to figure out. Like, of course it's going to be uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for me, and I know it was uncomfortable for you. And so it's like, that's okay. You can work through it. Like, it does become easy. It really does, when you start thinking more so about yourself and your purpose and your goals, instead of, well, why didn't it work? Like, just shift your focus. It doesn't happen overnight, but I think a lot of times, like, we want instant gratification. We don't want to take the time to, sit in it and be like, it's just an emotion. Let me move past it, like.
That's what people do. They love distractions. And you're going to distract yourself from your pain, your happiness, the things you got to do. You just want distractions. And that goes to my next point. When you're hopping into relationship to relationship, which I have a history of doing, you don't really get a chance to figure out who you are. So that takes a really big effect on you and everybody around you too. They see you for who you're with. When you hopping into relationship to relationship, it becomes like any of your friends. They know your boys, your parents, your cousins and stuff. Whenever you just hopping into relationship to relationship, you're like, you're not known for who you are after a while. You're kind of known for always like having a tag along, your buddy pass always with you, your shadow. That's your twin, huh? Y'all clicked up. So where's so and so? Whenever they're not around, guess what? You got to tell their story. You got to explain why they're not with you. Like, I don't know, maybe some people like that. And it is kind of enjoyable when you actually like the person. You're like, yeah, it's cute, it's whatever. But you're not your own person at that point. You're always with them all the time. Are y'all married? Are y'all like
that part
attached by the hip? Like, y'all can't have your own day and feel comfortable and trust each other and do that? Like, this is millennial relationships. Like, you can't be like that. You really have to be your own person and let the other person be their own person. And if you're not able to do that, you're not ready for a relationship anyway. It takes growth. Me, I know I need some growth personally before I focus on another person. I need to get my stuff together. But also, it allowed me to figure out being alone, not alone, I'm not alone, but being single allowed me to learn what I actually want rather than just filling that gap up with a distraction. And now that I know what I want, I'm willing to wait for it versus continuing to waste your energy. My guys, if y'all know about retention, then you know about it.
What's retention?
Keep your energy to yourself. Save it.
Ladies too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what retention is, but
mm-hmm.
we
Go.
Can we have retention?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, us too.
Absolutely, my guys. Y'all know what I mean. If y'all don't know, go just YouTube it. Go Google it. Do what you got to do. The more you save your energy, your power, your strength, the more woman that's gonna come your way, and the more you're gonna have to start rejecting these women out here. So that's just how it is, and you have to learn that side of you. If you don't, you just out here trying to be a fast tail. You wanna just forget about your ex because you hurt and you upset. Just don't do that. You're not gonna grow. You're not gonna learn. You're not gonna experience the gift that you actually have. So on that note, go Google yourself. go learn retention or something like that.
On that note, focus on you.
Facts.
Just focus on you, the things that you want to do. Of course, don't be selfish, but if you are in a space where you're coming out of a relationship, that is the best time to figure out who you are if you did not understand who you were in that relationship. You know, singleness is the best time to get in touch with yourself. You know, like who you really are, what your goals are, what boundaries you want to set, you know, for yourself, and the people around you, what goals you have, all these things that will not be influenced by being in a relationship. That's all I got to say about that. You'll be okay. You'll be all right. You know, just like our parents told us every time we fell down the script under, you'll be all right.
Yeah. We all in transitioning periods, whatever spectrum of life and whatever perspective you have on this world, you are in a period of transforming, and you just need to continue focusing on yourself. If you have somebody and you watching this video, I hope that y'all aren't attached by the hip but are attached by the heart and trust each other. And you know, you can always learn something from just listening a little bit and really paying attention to your partner. Don't, if you see that they're like codependent, don't push them away or like, you know, break up with them or anything like that because they're too attached to you. Tell them about themselves, you know, like y'all are partners in this thing. If y'all want it to work out, go ahead and work on it in a healthy way, a positive way, not any judgmental way. And for me, when I first learned that I was a bit too much for somebody, it was offensive, you know, like I'm full of love, I'm caring, I really like expressing that sometimes in relationships, you know, like that's usually, you know, the dudes usually like, you know, lack emotion on a certain extent. I don't want to judge all dudes out there. I'm speaking for majority of what I hear some women talk about, you know, like we emotionally unavailable. A lot of us ain't like that. It's just a lot of us have been through some things and a lot of us don't care about a lot of things. But, you know, men have a track mind where we focus on specific things, and if we see a few things that we like, it might be okay with us. We're not too picky, a lot of us. But when you push someone away and they're just trying to do, you can't really put yourself in their shoes of understanding how they're codependent. They just haven't been through that yet. This codependency thing, it's not something that's purposeful. It just happens sometimes. I didn't purposely want to be too much in someone's face and get addicted to somebody. But if you like somebody that much, it happens sometimes. Even if you don't like them that much, you might just get addicted to them. You know, it's something about them. You know, so that's just how it is. Work on it. I hope y'all in relationships work on that. If you're not in one, don't ever be codependent again.
Yeah.
That's my mission. I want to really like somebody that much, but I don't want to be dependent on having that company. Because, you know, maybe me personally, I don't know how married couples do it and not tend to be codependent. I think that's kind of in their duty as a couple at that point to be codependent. I don't really know. But when you're dating, you in your 20s, do you focus on your money, focus on your paycheck, go buy her something, you know, so she don't cheat on you or nothing like that. I'm joking.
But yeah, just come prepared, you know, whatever that preparation looks like for the relationship. Come prepared, come as you know. Don't be willing to just fall into the idea that somebody else has of you, so that you don't lose yourself. But you have to know yourself in order not to do that. You have to be able to see like who you really are versus who you're not, and who you're just trying to become to please somebody else, you know.
Thanks.
I definitely agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah, you know, I've been learning a lot during this little period in my life, and I'm fortunate to be able to express it on your YouTube channel. So I appreciate you having me on here. First of all, you know, I could talk everybody's head off and have just like an hour-long video, but I mean, I guess the last thing I really want to say is, if you happen to be in the same period that I am and transitioning into a single life, me personally, I need this because I've never really had it. I've been relationship bouncing to one to the other like since school days, and then fresh out of that, like 3-year period relationships to 1 year to 2 year to 3 year again. It's just not really giving myself time. So in order to be a better man, a better person, and a better husband one day, then I'm gonna have to give myself time to figure out who I am and who I really want to be. Don't be out here not thinking about yourself, because it's important. People don't take themselves that serious when you really should take yourself more serious than anything else. You are the prize in a relationship.
Yeah.
Whoever I'm talking to, whoever's listening, you the prize. So treat yourself like it. And that's all I gotta say.
Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself.
Okay now.
All right, well, I don't have nothing else to say, but then I think that's a good note. Y'all keep that in mind. Don't stray away from it. I think this is some really good advice, and you getting it straight from people who have experienced it. So this ain't just no textbook stuff. This real life is practical. If we did it, you definitely can do it. And we wish you the best on your journey of healing and refocusing. And I thank y'all for coming and watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you in my next video.